Welcome to the bold. I have listened to Lady Justice Martha Koome speaking standing at the entrance of Supreme Court, and clearly the tone of that 30 minutes press briefing is the tone of a person that is crying for help. And guys, I am tempted to sympathize with Martha Koome. But how fast are things changing? How fast? This Martha Koome that is now crying for Kenyans, opposition, and civil society to push accountability question on William Ruto just 15 months ago was very right, used very unkind words on opposition and Kenyans who, according to him, according to her, were not sensible. Hot air, wild goose chase. How fast that Lady Justice Martha Koome is out crying. And clearly the tone of that speech is, Raila, come and help me. I have done my part. Listen here. Koome has made in that 30-minute statement, he was responding to queries from after holding a meeting with JSC members and also I think queries from the media. The two things that for me are striking from the 30-minute press briefing. Number one, she's saying that despite of William Ruto saying that despite of William Ruto vilifying the judges, he's yet to file any formal complaint with JSC. And there is something he said there that you can even launch the complaint online. You must not go there. I believe that was targeting regarding that you must not go there. You can even send your formal application online. Number two, she's saying that she has written a letter to President Ruto and no response, in vain. It is a point, the tone of that is, I have done my part. What can I do? Imagine, just imagine.
Complaints. The last question from the KTN was whether the president has filed any complaints. Not any that we are aware. Even today, we were dealing with the complaints that we have shared with you. Unless it has come when we were in the process, we haven't received any, but we are ready to receive. I think somebody said on the news yesterday, one will be filed on Thursday. We are ready to receive it, even if it comes earlier than Thursday, because that's what we do. Our offices are open to receive. Even after hours, you can file online. Then that is why the JSC was established, to deal with those disciplinary matters. So we will be asking His Excellency to submit that report so that we can deal with it, because you recognize under the Constitution 2010, the Fair Administration Action Act, you have always to give a hearing to the other side. Even murder cases, when people are accused of murder, we don't condemn them and sentence them and convict them, we hear them. So even judges are human beings who deserve to be given an opportunity to be heard. And judges get hurt, especially when their names are dragged in public and they are condemned as corrupt, and there is no evidence that has been presented to them to respond. So we'll be looking out for that dialogue. We have written, and I believe His Excellency is going to give us an appointment, and we are ready to go anytime we are called, so that we can have that dialogue. We stand for dialogue, collaboration, and cooperation, because like somebody was describing, The government is a three-legged stool. We are also part of the government. And we are concerned that there are issues that are hurting the executive and the government, and we are also part of that government. So we need to know them so that we deal with them. The next question is whether we are intimidated by the, whether we have reached out to the president. We have written requesting for an appointment with His Excellency the President so that we as the Commission can have a dialogue to discuss and find out what is the real issue. He might have received reports because we have the various machineries and agencies that are charged with the responsibility of collecting information. And we would like to engage him so that he can give us that information. Because we all have a responsibility of solving our problems in this country. We all recognize corruption is endemic, it is a problem, it is unacceptable, it is condemned, it is actually a criminal offense. So if there are cases involving people in the judiciary, judges, judicial officers, or judiciary staff of corruption.
That is the speech by Martha Koome. And I want to take some bragging rights here. 3 days ago, I did a video. And in that video, I think you can share those who follow it. In that video, I said some point that it is high time that judiciary also comes out to defend itself and give a position so that Kenya Kwanza do not have monopoly of the narrative in the public. Remember, the politicians have the privilege of being, and I say this, the politicians have a privilege of accessing the public, a privilege of being popular, proximity to the people, a privilege of having political structures, team to run their politics. But the judges and the Supreme Court, the judicial officials seem not to have that political privilege. But they needed to come out and speak. So when I saw that press briefing, when I saw that notification, actually they sent the invite. The invite was sent yesterday. About it. I said yes. Someone might have had my point that they needed to respond. And that is the beauty of taking a journalist to go to work in a public office. The head of communication is actually a former Standard journalist, Sophia Wanuna. Now, the judiciary has been keeping their cool while politicians execute the judiciary onslaught, hopping from one political rally to the other. And I can tell you it has been unstoppable. For the last 2 weeks, every event, after Ruto launching a road, it is judiciary. Going to church after the Bible takes 20% of the service, 80%, one speaker after the other, it is the judiciary. Whenever they are, every local Kenya Kwanza politician speaking anywhere, even today there was some event, it is the judiciary. And just listen to a bit of a sample of what has been going on.
Perpetuate judicial tyranny and judicial impunity. We will deal with them. We will fight with them. We will not allow them. They will not go far. Mimi nataka niwatangazie mapema. Mimi ni mtu ambaye naamini mahakama. I respect the judiciary. I respect the independence of the judiciary. But I also believe that the judiciary cannot be abused by a few corrupt judicial officials. Imagine, niwaulize, hata wale watu wako mahakamani, niwaulize, katiba ya Kenya, Article 43, inasema inalazimu serikali kuprovide housing that is decent to citizens. Inalazimu serikali kuprovide the highest standards of healthcare. Inalazimu serikali kupanga ajira ya vijana wa Kenya. Katiba ya Kenya. Hawa wa Kenya mamilioni walienda kwa debe wakapigia kura manifesto ambayo iko na program ya housing, iko na program ya universal health coverage, iko na program ya ajira ya vijana. Bunge wakaenda wakapitisha budget, iko na mpango ya housing, iko na mpango ya universal health coverage, iko na mpango ya kupanga ajira ya vijana. Ati alafu watu wachache ambao ni beneficiaries ya ukora wanaenda kotini, wanaenda kutaka kusimamisha hiyo kazi yote, ati vijana wetu waendelee kurandaranda wasipate ajira. Ati wa Kenya tusiwapunguzie hawa wenye mapato ya chini kutoka 500 mpaka 300 waendelee kulipa 500 na wao waendelee kuiba hiyo pesa. Ati wa Kenya waendelee kuishi kwa slums.
It's because you have said you will fight with the corruption. And you have said you will fight with the corruption in the legislature, in the national government, in the private sector, in the county government, and in the judiciary. The rest of this other group, hawajaongea, it's only the judiciary. And I think my very good sister, Lady Justice Koome, even her predecessors did better. At least Dr. Willy Mutunga and Maraga confessed and are on public that there is corruption in the judiciary. She is even unable to do that. It's very unfortunate. And I attended both the function of Dr. Willy Mutunga and the one of Maraga. Her only message is pitieni barabara.
So, that is why I am saying that Lady Justice Martha Koome is in order. And I support the decision by JSC to come out and face Ruto head on. This is what they needed to do as early as yesterday. I know they don't have a privilege, and probably when the president was speaking about this thing in political rallies and in these events, I think the JSC took it casual. You know, they took it casual. But the boiling point was yesterday when Rigathi talked about the issue of Esther Maina. Remember, he made that statement in public yesterday, and today I was in Kabete. I was taking one of my siblings was supposed to join there, Kabete Polytechnic, and I had some chit chat with a gentleman there. Let me not call his name. Someone works there, and he was telling me, what is the danger of calling out the name of a judge in public, someone from the highest office like that of the deputy president? Don't you think you put the image of that person at risk? You have already vilified the judge before even he's tried. Remember, the JSC is a team that is supposed to look at the magnitude of your formal complaint. So if a deputy president says that judge must be removed because of this and that, what is the magnitude? How about if your supporters, if such a judge happens to be in some traffic jam somewhere, then some of the supporters or people who support to bump on her, or she attends a burial in somewhere, and some of the people who are your supporters bumps on her, what will it be? Remember, this is also a judge that also has a family, with extended family, a husband, children, and all that. Don't you think it amounted to some sort of a threat? And my friend was asking, Kevin, was it a threat or was it just a notice? Do you need to notify? No. Guys, JSC is right, but I don't sympathize for Martha Koome. Martha Koome is telling us something that I have done my part. And remember, they have even explained, they've even tried to answer the question that Ichunga was asking yesterday. How many cases have been tried? How many judges have been dismissed? How that JC is not inactive, is inactive. They've been trying to say everything has been said. Now, why JSC has gone public head-on with William Ruto? We didn't know that a letter has been written to the president until this press briefing, and they wanted us to know. We didn't know that the president has launched any complaint directly or indirectly until today. We don't know. But they've decided let the public, because they've been asking the politicians that, look here, bring your formal, don't vilify us in the rallies. We are also Kenyans, we are also human beings. Bring them on table. And the politicians have been saying abojo bojo, as my friends and as my friend Ogoda says, never responding. Why have they gone to public? I want to explain. They've gone to public because Martha Koome wants William Ruto, he wants to corner Ruto on the burden of proof, which the president is lacking. Guys, if the president has a proof on evidence on any judge, as he alleges, he has so many lawyers, so many machineries, he has so many friends. When this event, when all this onslaught against the court was going on, we would have heard of flurry of complaints, a big traffic of complaints to JSC, even by individuals. But then people need to get, it is not a must the president launches. By the way, I don't think atafanya hiyo, yeye haiwezi fanya. But hata akiongea, and some petitioners are already petitioning, sending their petitions to JSC against some judges, it will work concurrently. This is just the same as ile ya Mungiki yenye, you come and political rally and tell us the way they are Mungiki, we are going to do this, we are going to do that, and there seems to be nothing going on ground. So if William Ruto wanted to execute this, even if it was a political propaganda, as he was speaking in Leiten and Bomet and where in those churches, his judges will be engaging the courts on some of these things, so that court ijue, hata wazee wajue yenyewe something is going on. So that is number one. Martha Koome is simply asking the opposition and the civil society and Kenyans so that ask Ruto to bring the cases. Ask him, push him. Why is he not bringing the case? And they are saying they never sent any formal case. Number two, Koome is calling the public to question Ruto presidency. Yes, to question Ruto presidency. The questioning Ruto presidency is on the conduct of disobeying court orders. Hey, for once, let me say the truth. If there is something that I didn't fancy during Uhuru 2, is disobeying court orders. By the way, disobeying court, especially on the Mtaani axis, on the Mtaani side. Remember the whole thing about the Miguna. The Miguna exile thrived on disobeying court orders. Yes. Now, I think Ruto has also taken that route. Ruto is also disobeying court orders, and there is some truth to it. That politicians are, because they're pushing interest, the court orders are immaterial. Now, that is what Justice Koome is also saying. And if you listen to that speech, she's saying something there. She's saying that the conduct of disobeying court orders can even lead the country into anarchy. Remember, there is a pending case on housing levy. See, there is already the government, the Kenya Kwanza said, they will continue with the housing levy, public participation on housing levy, even against that court order. They've been saying. Demolitions that have been conducted overnight have been conducted even if the owners, even if aggrieved parties are having court orders from the court. Imagine we don't have court orders, and you are seeing femicide, the increasing femicide, people killing young girls in Airbnbs. We are seeing cases of, you know, we don't have court orders. You can't arrest, you can disobey, anaweza shika katae. You're seeing a police officer shooting a bar attendant in Nakuru over controversy, over bill. Think about it. We are seeing politicians masterminding violence to neutralize political opponents. Then you still want us to be in a country where there are no court orders? You know, sometimes I agree with what Justice Maraga said, not Maraga, Chief Justice Emeritus Murunga. Is it Murunga, the first? I've forgotten the name. Mutunga said that court is where everyone goes to. Everyone. It's an equalizer. Everyone goes to. Imagine. Now, number 3, he's charging the opposition camp on William Ruto. Because what will happen after that press briefing, I'm very sure the newspaper headline will be the photo of Ruto huku, Martha Koome huku, and the whole discussion about the judiciary. The opposition will also pick and amplify. Remember, Martha Koome is just the leader. Ye asha make statement yake. After making her statement, what do you expect tomorrow? What you expect is opposition politicians, they will be amplifying what Martha Koome is saying. They will be asking the president that, look here, why umesema these judges are this and that? Take the evidence, take those formal, and they said it. He's already charging the public because the president decided, you know what, we're going to talk about this in public. Number 4, Koome is also amplifying the structures of judiciary in KK. Remember yesterday when the DP said he will lead a team of his lawyers to send a petition JSC to remove a judge yesterday. I argued here in the morning that first, it's not even a prerogative of the Chief Justice to receive that petition. That petition could still be launched online. By the way, you can still file it online. You can file that petition online, even at night. Then watapokea the next day. Number 2, that petition is sent to Judicial Service Commission. That petition is not sent to Martha Koome as Rigathi Gachagua was trying to insinuate. So that is what is coming out. And he's saying, remember, he's also now asking the public to defend them. That's technically what they're saying. Because they decided to go before the screen, call the presser. He's also telling the public, defend us. We are innocent. That is why on August 2022, when some of us criticized what the language of the verdict at Supreme Court, we said that the bench was insensitive to people's emotions. And this country belonged to all of us. By that time, there was a very good honeymoon. You will understand if you listen to the speeches. I listened to one by, I've listened to Duale, even saying your predecessor was better than you. There have been attacks even on the personality of Martha Koome. Now, Martha Koome is coming to public to defend her. The JSC wants the public to defend them. Why? Probably, I'm saying something, and by the way, it's a bit serious. Rigathi said, I will personally at 2:30 p.m. go to Judiciary to take some form to file a case for removal of a judge. And I wondered, why was he even telling us the details of time? And he also asked Kenyans to go with him. Are they going to storm the judiciary? Probably yes. So, Martha Koome is also trying to solicit. And As I said, judiciary lacks that. Hawana hiyo ability ya kumobilize just like politicians can mobilize. That is why you need the public. Sometimes it's not just good to be too right to listen to others, because you never know. Jana ilikuwa huyu, leo inaweza kuwa wewe. So but because of the interest and all that, we will see how this will play. Thank you guys. Let's meet tomorrow on date what? Let's meet tomorrow in our next video.